Now to breaking news, a homicide investigation underway right now in Hawthorne.
Jeff and Susie, we're off of Chandran Avenue in the city of Hawthorne, and you can see Hawthorne PD. They are wrapping up their investigation. They're still taking some photographs. There's a male in his 20s that was shot, and inside this car there are a lot of bullet holes inside that windshield. We zoomed in earlier.
On the 8th of July, 2021, at around 4:10 p.m., Los Angeles rapper Zarel Dejan Rivera, who was popularly known as Indian Red Boy, was shot and lost his life at Chandran Avenue in Hawthorne during an Instagram Live engagement with his influencer friend from inside his car. It all happened within split seconds. According to reports, he had been speaking to his friend, Baby Capone, who was also a rapper and a social media influencer, about the mural of Ermias Asghedom, dubbed as Nipsey Hussle. Hussle was an American rapper who died 2 years earlier in a shooting on the 31st of March 2019, right outside his retail clothing store in Los Angeles. Shot after that, he could be seen glancing at the window milliseconds before 12 shots were fired at him as he tried to protect himself by covering his head with his arms. Still, on Instagram Live, a bloodied Rivera could be seen mouthing "help" severely, as well as mouthing that he was in Hawthorne when the utterly dazed and concerned Capone asked him where he was. Then, he could be heard gasping for breath before the camera dropped and the livestream ended as he gave up the ghost. Following that, the police department received calls reporting a shooting at a multi-level gated apartment complex on South Chandran Avenue in Hawthorne, and upon their arrival, they quickly swung into action, trying to control the crowd that had already gathered at the scene.
So there was some kind of issue here, possibly with a confrontation. They're trying to keep people out of this crime scene so that they can wrap up their investigation.
Soon, they found the 21-year-old Rivera slumped forward in the front seat of his car, which was parked in the carport at the back of the building, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene by officials who asserted that he had been shot multiple times. Not too long after, Rivera's identity was confirmed by the LA County coroner, and upon further investigation, they saw he was a member of the Bloods Gang, a primarily African-American street gang founded in Los Angeles. The Bloods have gained notoriety for their long-standing rivalry with the Crips, another primarily African-American gang in the region, and both gangs have been involved in various illicit activities, including trafficking, theft, extortion, and homicide. However, before he was identified, Police Lieutenant Ty Goetz had told the Daily Breeze that Rivera had been targeted and killed in a walk-up shooting and guessed that he was a gang member. Sadly, no arrests were made at the crime scene because the unidentified gunman had fled before the arrival of the police. In fact, the police department are still investigating the crime and have publicly requested the assistance of anyone with relevant information relating to the crime. However, since the time of his passing, there have been many opinions about the reason for the hit on his life. Some sources say that he paid the ultimate price for defacing Nipsey Hussle's mural in a different live stream with Baby Capone only a day after the mural was vandalized.
Still shoot your big homie and f your main IFG. You be the hat, you be what Blood just tried to say? Ooh.
Some others say that he had been set up by an unarmed female who he had allegedly been waiting for, while various sources say that he was shot because he had switched gangs. However, even fewer sources say he was killed over an altercation he had with his friend over a girl that they both had slept with. His disrespect to Nipsey Hussle's mural was particularly highlighted by Jayceon Terrell Taylor, who is widely known as The Game. He had posted a video of him freestyling and saying that anyone who disrespects Nipsey Hussle deserved to die.
The female went and told Zarel partner, "Hey, say man, Blood saying this and that and third about you." So that's when homie went and approached Zarel and told Zarel, "What's up with all this other shit that I've been hearing? You pillow talking with some of you and your feelings or something?" They end up getting into it. Boom, they end up getting into a fight. They got into a fight right there in front of the homies, right there in the hood. Zarrell partner did not get off of Zarrell. Okay, for those who might be lost, I'm talking about India Boy. Zarrell is India Boy. Zarrell, that's his government name. All right, so whenever his partner got through whooping, so that's when he said and went to Inglewood. Now, if you're asking yourself, how could this go from one hood to Inglewood like that? Okay, first and foremost, when he was in middle school, he went to school with a lot of. He been knowing Baby Capone and all them. Your problem was personal with one nigga behind a female. And the crazy part about it was, right, it went to Hawthorne, Chadron Avenue. He was pulling up on the same female that he was pillow talking with, the same female that went and told Zarrell partner Zarrell was saying about him. He went up and pulled up on the same female. I'm not saying that she set him up. Y'all can put two and two together and come up with four.
However, as soon as he released the song, many people came at him saying that he was singing about someone who wasn't present to defend himself. They also mentioned that Indian Red Boy had been captured in pictures disrespecting Nipsey's mural when he made videos of himself defacing Nipsey's mural with paint some days before he passed. The backlash was so bad that The Game and his manager, Cash Jones, who's known as Wack 100, had to get on their social media page to allay the concerns of people and answer their questions, clarifying that The Game had written the song about 2 months before Indian Red Boy lost his life, but had only released it at the wrong time.
You know what I mean? About this Game verse, all right? Just to clarify something. When all I was talking about is music and wasn't disrespecting that man as an individual, but just talking overall music, Game was still talking about what due to disrespect. Even though the world tried to pin it on me and find me guilty for something I wasn't guilty of. I just think it was bad timing. I just checked his phone personally. Bar's been in there about 2 months as he pre-writes his songs.
In addition to the public apology, The Game also donated a whopping $5,000 to Indian Red Boy's GoFundMe for his funeral. As if that wasn't enough, his son, Harlem Taylor, also donated $100 for the same cause, while his manager, Cash Jones, donated $1,000. In addition to that, he also made a post on his Instagram page stating that he had donated to the funeral and hoped that his donation was enough to give Rivera a befitting burial, just to prove that he didn't mean any disrespect by releasing his song around the time that Rivera was murdered. Rivera had a very close relationship with members of his family, and when he met his demise, they had a lot of good things to say about him and fond memories to hold on to. According to his aunt, Jasmine Hunt, he was outgoing and loved to make other people laugh. She also said that he loved children and was fond of basketball and doing backflips. She then went on to say that he started his career as a rapper with the sole aim of being heard and accepted into a family. But just as he started to make waves, he lost his mother, Shawana Rivera, whom he had reportedly had a close relationship with and had posted several photos of her on his Instagram story. His funeral was held on Chadron Avenue in Hawthorne, California, where his family and friends gathered and honored his memory to pay their final tributes to him. Indian Red Boy was people and family oriented, and he left behind his 2 siblings, who he had to take care of after his mother's passing, cousins, and well as his aunt, who he had grown up with. Indian Red Boy was just starting out in his music career, and not many people knew of him or heard his music until he lost his life. Our prayers are with his family and friends. Rest in peace, Indian Red Boy.